One of the big new shows from abroad making waves lately is Monster Loving Maniacs, a show with as many unpredictable surprises as its head-turning title. Is it a cartoon that's just crazy enough to work, or is it just hunting for the loony bin? Let's tear into another new series review. Monster Loving Maniacs, just as a title, is a concept that's hard to ignore, and it's definitely caught my eye as one of the most interesting shows in European kids' TV at the moment. Produced by Denmark's Ja Film and Ginger Pictures, the adventure comedy tells a tale of three siblings who become monster hunters in training, though it seems they'd rather have a friendlier relationship with the creatures instead. The show was pre-sold to Germany's Super RTL in April 2020, and closer to its launch, it had also been snapped up by CBBC in the UK, SVT in Sweden, NRK in Norway, and by DR in its home country, Denmark. I would say DR Ultra specifically, but DR Ultra has been a little more than a glorified video-on-demand page for the past 3 years, so I don't feel that's right. The push from DR comes as part of a bigger move by them to support Danish and Nordic-produced cartoons, most signified by dumping their Disney programming block after 3 decades at the end of 2022. A number of international TV channels have had programming block relationships with Disney Fare. I'm aware of the phenomenon, but not to such an extent that I'm knowledgeable enough to dive into a tangent about it right now. In any event, we don't hear much too often from the Danes, or anywhere else in Scandinavia for that matter, so seeing them dive into some new projects is more than welcome. But will I love the monster-loving maniacs, or will my hunt take me elsewhere? I'll have to become a monster reviewing maniac to find out. The show's theme song spoils a lot, so I'll just jump straight into the 2-part opening episode as our leading family heads into the mysterious town of Gruselbrook. Our 3 main characters, Edith, Ernest, and Bo, live up to the designation the show's title gives them as they tackle an age-old question about vampires battling werewolves. We didn't answer it with Twilight when I was a kid, we're certainly not answering it now. As they arrive inside their grandfather's estate, their genre savvy is rewarded, piecing together the details quite quickly. They're descendants from a long line of monster hunters, and while their mother passed on the offer, the kids are expected to take up the mantle. Sounds like a dream, right? It's cool, but once they see some action, Ernest starts having second thoughts. He's a monster lover, not a monster fighter, and he ends up spending some time with their music-loving new neighbor to clear his head. Edith also has reservations after seeing how uninquisitive her grandfather is about the details of these monsters. Ultimately, the kids lay down the line with Grandpa. They're not monster hunters, they're monster experts, and will be trained as such. Grandpa reluctantly agrees. I also had a peek forward at the 3rd episode of Monster Loving Maniacs just to get an idea for the show's more regular episodic stylings. Time Slime is an appropriate 3rd episode in the running order, offering exposition to a core part of the show's universe while also allowing for hijinks and adventure, as well as a display of the kids' more balanced approach to dealing with monsters. And maybe they're onto something. Beefing up your privacy and security online doesn't have to be scary. Head back to school safe and find a way to watch this show from elsewhere, because it's certainly not going stateside, with NordVPN. Get up to 68% off and up to 3 months extra for free using the link in the video description. Structurally, the show marries episodic sensibilities with clear story-driven through lines that viewers more accustomed to the American lore glut might appreciate. Hints of exposition add layers of nuance and context while also establishing future plot threads. The show is as pacey as you'd expect for your typical 11-minute outing, but there's a lot that's carefully stuffed in to make it an engaging, engrossing watch. Honestly, the show flows so well that the theme song and credits were almost impediments, which is such a weird thing to have to say. The characters are all well explored, and even the supporting cast feel fleshed out in terms of their dynamics. You're certainly not left wanting with how much there is to grab onto. Ernest, the middle brother, is portrayed as eager but rational. His natural curiosity and healthy skepticism can make him a little outspoken when pushed, but he has no problems being a team player alongside his sisters. Edith, the older sister, is more outwardly reserved but far from unreachable. She can quickly take the reins when it's necessary, but not with reckless abandon. Bo, the younger sister, is quite fleshed out for a 4-year-old. An active member of these adventures in her own way. It's a characterization I can really appreciate. crafting a character at that age can be really challenging. Their grandfather has a lot of experience under his belt as a monster hunter, but his wizened, majestic composure and his outlook on hunting suggests he might be getting a little out of touch. Oh, and also, there's Paul. He's a cat. That's all.
I'm Phil, I'm the cat, I can talk, get over it.
See? Told ya. Also notable is that the side plot that starts in episode 2 opens up a really big story window that could blow a huge hole in the initial premise. I'm not going to spoil what it is specifically, but it is a really intriguing subplot that I'm really interested in seeing play out. Monster Loving Maniacs! It's fun to say and it's even better to watch. Adventurous and approachable in equal measure, it's an exciting romp of a cartoon that you'll love every minute of. It's another strong concept executed with well-rounded grace and creative aplomb of the variety European cartoons have been great at delivering lately. Well-characterized leads set up the foundation for a unique flavor of vast, expansive world building that sets this show apart from just about anything else running. You are absolutely doing yourself a disservice by not trying out this show, and I can't wait to see where these budding experts head next. Or, to reference the show, I accept their premise. Hit subscribe and turn that bell on to catch more reviews and all the latest from the world of television. Another recent European hit I liked quite a bit is Spain's I, Elvis Reboldi. My review of that is up here or down in the description. You can directly help make this content possible for as little as $3 a month at benzie.tk/join. See you next time!